My name is Gavin Thurston. I'm a wildlife cameraman and I work a lot for BBC Television. I first came to Turkmenistan 20 years ago. I worked on a BBC series called Realms of the Russian Bear. That's when Turkmenistan was part of the Soviet Union. And I did 2 trips down to Badkiz, which is the reserve nestled right down between Afghanistan and Iran. And I must say it was just an amazing place. It's a really wild place. So primarily we're here to mentor Turkmenistan TV, teach them some of the techniques we've used on big series like Planet Earth, show them how to use tracks and dollies and so on. And so far they've been a really good bunch to work with. We've come to the mountains to see what is possibly the world's best example of dinosaur footprints. All across this plateau here, which was once riverbed, are dinosaur trails. I mean, some of these are about 60 to 80 centimetres big. I filmed dinosaur footprints in America, but these are definitely way better dinosaur footprints. We're right on the eastern side of Turkmenistan, right on the border of Uzbekistan. I mean, literally that is the border, those hills there. And we've been given permission to go down into one of their special caves full of stalactites and crystals and all sorts. We've just done a very quick recce in the first sort of 10 minutes of the journey into the caves, just to check we can actually get through with our Western stomach, which we can. And now we're preparing the kit, but it's extremely dusty, it's very humid. You'll see it's quite a squeeze. All goes well. God, it's really humid. Got the computer. We've shown them straight tracks and what that will do, not that they didn't know what it does, but showing how easy it can be. And this is a circular track setup, which gives a different perspective again, because you'll actually get a change of parallax in sort of 2 dimensions, or 3 dimensions almost, as you track around something.
He's not smiling.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, so the sun's just risen, and they brought us to a waterhole. The idea being, this is obviously it's a very good place to find animals. This isn't necessarily the best way to film them, because obviously us approaching from above is probably going to spook them. In fact, there's an arcar running away now. It's a shame, because that was a really nice male. Historically, these animals have been hunted. And I'm sure that, I mean, they're saying they still have problems with poachers, but they've only got to be shot at once or twice a year, and that will keep the memory of, or fear of man. But it makes it blooming difficult to film them. But we can do it. We can do it with hides. It just takes patience and time.
Just want to demonstrate to these guys that how something simple like this is a scouting camera, usually used by hunters. But basically, if we put this camera on here, it'll be triggered automatic by any animal that comes in. It'll take both photos and video. It'll work both day and night. It switches to infrared. But it's just to demonstrate how you can use one of these instead of sitting somebody here in a hide for weeks on end. You can actually use a camera to give you an idea of what animals are coming in and what time.
Да, даже ученые ими пользуются, потому что разный леопард, когда изучает, у каждого леопарда свой знак, да, разный вот у каждого леопарда.
We're now downwind of them, and they seem to have calmed down a lot, but they're probably, or maybe nearly a kilometre away. It's just whether it's worth trying to hike down into the dip and come up on this next ridge to get some shots. I have a feeling though they're just going to leg it. And with this terrain they've only got to go 50 metres and they're out of sight in a gully. Again, these things would just take time. You know, if you spent 2 or 3 weeks following these guys, you'd get some really nice stuff. I'm sure you'd get the males fighting. Well, we've come down through Kızılca, which is the dramatic gorge, and we're now in an area called Yürelanduz, which means the scooped out area of land with salt in it, something like that. But just driving along the car, there's lots of footprints around, and I noticed these big ones, which we've stopped for, and they are indeed wolf footprints. So having just seen a hyena running and a hyena den up in the gorge there, we've now got fresh wolf tracks. It's obviously headed through here. But I'm pretty sure they're probably last night's actually, because otherwise these would just fill in with, you know, with the slightest breeze these would fill in with dust. So it's quite exciting to think that you've got all these charismatic species of predator here. You're about to see something pretty spectacular. We're in the centre of the Karakum Desert. We're about 250 kilometres north of Ashgabat, and there's something quite surprising here that makes this desert hotter than it is in the summer.